TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations. Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News, broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israel dubs its offensive versus the Iranian proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon, Operation Northern Arrows. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asserts Israel's efforts to preempt any attack, while the IDF intensifies the rate of attacks against Hezbollah targets. Defense Minister Yoav Gallant urges Israeli citizens to heed the Home Front Command's directives. Israel is intensifying its offensive campaign against the Iranian proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon, with a clear goal of driving the terror group north of the Litani River, in accordance with UN Security Council Resolution 1701, to reinvigorate security throughout northern Israel that would effectively allow roughly 100,000 displaced Israeli residents to return to their communities.
I would like to clarify Israel's policy to whoever does not yet understand. We are not waiting for the threat. We are preempting it everywhere and every sector, constantly. We are eliminating senior figures, terrorists, and missiles, and our arm is still extended. Whoever tries to harm us, we will harm them all the more forcefully. I promised that we would change the security balance, the balance of forces in the north. This is exactly what we are doing. We are destroying thousands of missiles and rockets that are directed at Israel's cities and citizens. We face complex times. Citizens of Israel, I ask of you two things. First, follow the directives of Home Front Command. They save lives. And second, stand together with determination, responsibility, and, of course, patience. Together we will stand strong. Together we will fight. And with God's help, together we will win.
Since last month, on the 25th of August, when Israel preempted Hezbollah's intention to launch a massive attack against Israel over the targeted assassination of the Iranian proxy's top military commander, Fuad Shukr, the IDF has been preparing for a massive campaign to essentially degrade Hezbollah's overall capabilities south of the Litani River. Consequently, following Jerusalem's approval of a robust offensive dubbed Operation Northern Arrows, the IDF is intensifying its fire rate and expanding its target bank.
We are here at the Northern Command Fire Center after days of high intensity that included many attacks. Since the preemption attack, during the past month, we concentrated efforts and many resources with the aim of striking the Hezbollah terror organization. Among the targets included weapons caches and launching pads that were directed at the State of Israel and scores of separate sectors. In recent days, we raised the bar and we have intensified the rate of our attacks. Moreover, we have also expanded our target bank. Within a mere several hours, we struck hundreds of targets, which we investigated and prepared for over the past several years. We are determined to persist and strike Hezbollah, as we have done and will continue to do, for the sake of the security of the State of Israel.
It is important to know that the first day of Israel's high-intensity offensive campaign included strikes against over 1,300 targets.
The IDF struck 1,300 targets until now, including long-range cruise missiles, heavyweight rocket with 1,000-kilo warhead. This is the same type of rocket that was used in the Majd al-Shams attack that killed 12 innocent children. We also struck a short and medium-range rockets and UAVs, all capable of attacking deep inside Israeli territory and causing major damage to civilian towns and cities.
It is important to know that since Admiral Hagari's public statement, over 1,000 additional strikes have been reported. Meanwhile, in accordance with international humanitarian law, the IDF has been providing Lebanese residents of villages subject to attacks with early warnings in an attempt to mitigate collateral damage.
As part of our efforts to mitigate harms to civilians, we provided advance warning to civilians in specific villages in Lebanon where Hezbollah embedded its military assets and weapons and warned them to move out of harm's way. However, even as we called on civilians to move away from danger, we saw that Hezbollah operatives were doing the opposite and acted to prevent civilian moving safety. This is because Hezbollah uses civilian population and civilian homes as a human shield for its terrorist activities. Today we exposed this strategy, showing how Hezbollah uses civilian homes as a cover for their deadly weapons.
While the Israeli Air Force conducts highly sophisticated precision strikes against Hezbollah targets, including weapons caches that have been concealed in urban areas, secondary explosions of munitions stored have caused extensive damage to adjacent residential buildings.
Behind every secondary explosions, there's a building containing deadly munitions, rockets and missiles, triggering such a reaction like you see here. It is likely that some of the casualties are from these secondary explosions. Here you can see a house used by Hezbollah to store its weapons. In the footage here following our strike on the weapon, secondary explosions can be clearly seen, and a rocket fired and hit a nearby house.
Meanwhile, at the Defense Ministry's headquarters in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem's top defense official, following a security assessment at the IDF's Operations Directorate's Command and Control, highlighted Israel's achievements versus Hezbollah to date.
Decided a few weeks ago to shift the center of gravity of the IDF operations from the southern to the northern sectors. The reason for this is our goal. Our goal is to ensure the safe return of the northern residents to their homes. This past week clearly demonstrates what I have mentioned. Over the course of 1 week, it may be determined that in many ways, Nasrallah remains lonesome at the top. Radwan forces suffered a fatal blow following the elimination of their top commanders, including regional and brigade commanders and the staff led by Akil. Entire units were taken out of operational capacity as a result of the activities conducted at the beginning of the week in which numerous terrorists were struck. I believe that today is a significant peak. On this day, we have reached a point in which we have taken out of order tens of thousands of rockets and precision-guided munitions. This matter has a decisive meaning vis-a-vis Hezbollah's capabilities. This operation, which the IDF is conducting professionally, humility, and in a very qualitative manner, and you are worthy of all praise.
Defense Minister Gallant went on to highlight, however, that Hezbollah will aim to intensify its attacks against Israel and urged the Israeli public to heed the Home Front Command's directives.
Despite everything I have said, the enemy Hezbollah intends to shoot at Israel in various areas across the country. The meaning of this, you must provide warning and the citizens of Israel must follow the instructions published by the Home Front Command.
Meanwhile, despite repeated barrages of Hezbollah rockets that are fired toward Israel's northern communities, residents of the northern town of Nahariya are voicing confidence in the IDF's capacity to overwhelm Israel's northern enemy.
The situation in the city will be dangerous. In the moment, it's so-so, but I think it will be going to be dangerous because the IDF, they talking to the citizens how to behave in this situation, so everybody knows. And if a massive missile shoot will start from Lebanon, everybody will be in the bunkers, in the safe places, and everybody buy the food and all the products that we need. So we are ready. We just want that all the threat of Hezbollah, it will be end of this. That's what we want.
I am pretty worried. Because I gotta survive somehow. I gotta pay rent somehow, so I can't really afford to leave work and go somewhere just for safety. So I am praying that the situation will resolve. I have 3 cats, so I can't really leave the area, it seems like. So just hopefully it's gonna be all right. We are strong.
From day to day, we have concerns, but the long range time is actually on our side, meaning the people of Israel, Jewish or not Jewish, citizens and residents in Israel are in this here. We're not going anywhere. We're here to stay.
It is important to know that while Israel's aerial defense array intercepts most of the incoming projectiles, these defenses are not hermetic and are efficiently calibrated to avoid intercepting rockets that don't have a trajectory toward inhabited areas.
We are currently at the location where a rocket landed south of the Stat Tel Adassim community. This is basically one of many incidents that took place overnight, with many rocket alert sirens and rockets that fell in the Amakim precinct. Right now, we are at the Afila precinct. I call on all of the residents to listen to the directives and to enter protected rooms when sirens are sounded, together with the entire family. Listen to the Home Front Command's directives. Every sector is taken care of with professional forces standing by. It may take a little time in light of the many incidents.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I would like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Separately, if you're blessed by our productions, which are exclusively donation-based, please consider supporting our programs with a donation. You can do so via our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you a Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.